In this video, we're going to show you how to replace the AC compressor kit on your Nissan Altima. Take your vehicle to a shop and have them evacuate your AC system. Once you are completed this job, you will have to bring it back to the shop and have them charge the system as well. Using a 5mm hex head, remove the 3 bolts for the engine cover. Put that to the side. Remove the negative battery cable. Using a 10mm, put that down to the side. Remove the connector off of the alternator. There's a little push tab right here. Push that in, pull up. This is a 13mm nut. Pull that back. I'm going to just put this nut back on the post. Using a 10mm, we're going to remove this ground strap. I'm also going to put this little plastic clip pulled right out of the bracket for me. I'm going to put this bolt right back where it was. And also remove this plastic clip. There's 2 little pinch clips on the bottom. You can kind of reach under, push on it, and pull it up. Flop this to the side. Remove the 10mm bolt on the coolant reservoir. Pull that up. Pull the hose out of the bracket. And we're going to put this to the side for now. Remove the 5 21mm lug nuts. Remove the wheel. We're going to remove the 5 clips off of this side splash shield. There's usually one right here. It's missing on this car. Remove the shield. We're going to remove the engine splash shield. Using a pair of clip pliers, we're going to go around, take out all the clips. Using a 14mm wrench, I'm going to pull back on the tensioner. I'm going to pull the belt off the power steering pulley. Careful once the belt is off, the tensioner can fly back. It's in a dangerous place. This clamp can get the back of your hand pretty good. We're going to pull the belt out so it's not in our way when we're trying to get the compressor out. I'm going to take it mostly off the pulleys on the bottom, and then we're going to pull it out through the top after we can get the alternator pulley off of it. Remove the belt. Using a 14mm, we're going to remove the 2 bolts off of the alternator. Remove the alternator. Remove the connector off the AC compressor. There's a little pinch clamp for this harness. Using a pair of pliers, I'm just going to squeeze these two sides. Pull this harness up and out of the way. And we are also going to pull this ground strap harness just kind of up over here for now. The AC compressor is going to come straight up out of here, so we want as much room as possible. Using a 10mm socket, we're going to remove the two 10mm bolts off of the high and low lines going to the AC compressor. Remove the lines from the compressor. Kind of wiggle and pull straight up. I'm going to tuck this one down under, kind of out of the way. Do the same thing on the other hose. Wiggle, pull straight up. I'm going to pull this up top. Using a 12mm wrench or socket, remove the two bolts off the bottom of the AC compressor. Using a 12mm socket, we're going to take off the two top bolts for the AC compressor. Once you have the bolts out, it shouldn't be able to fall out of the car, but it's good to have a hand on it. I'm going to take the bolts out and then remove it through the top. We're going to replace the O-rings on the high and low pressure line for the AC compressor. I'm going to use a small pick, being very gentle. You do not want to mar this surface at all. These are aluminum lines and they're very easy to gouge. Kind of get under the O-ring. Pull it off. Grab the new one. You can take a little bit of AC oil and rub it on the O-ring before installing. And just slip it over like that. Do the same thing on the other line. Pull that off. Same thing, you can put a little bit of oil on this O-ring. and then install it on the line. I'm going to put these lines back where they were for the removal of the compressor so we can put it back in with ease. And then once the compressor's in, we'll put those lines on. Install the compressor into the car. Make sure that the connector doesn't get caught on anything. Once I have it down here, I'm going to put one of my bolts in. Start it by hand. And we'll snug those down. Torque the compressor bolts to 21 foot-pounds. The book says 21 to 24. If you can't get a torque wrench in there, do the best you can. Remove the 10mm bolt. There's that vacuum. I loosened this one, but I'm going to keep the cap in there for now. We're going to install the rear line. Install the bolt. Then we're going to lightly snug these down for now. We'll come back and torque them. The reason I left this cap on is because I didn't want any dirt falling into this front hole while I installed this rear hose. Grab the front hose, remove the cap, and install the hose. Install the bottom bolts. Start them by hand. And then we'll go to the top. Torque these top bolts to 6 foot-pounds. Torque these bottom bolts to 21 to 24 foot-pounds. Using a 10mm socket, remove the bolt off the bottom of the AC dryer. Pull down on this little bracket and remove that. Remove the 2 clips on top of the grill. After you take out the 4 clips on top of the grill, there's going to be a clip on the side. Push in to release the clip and pull the grill forward. There's 2 more clips on the bottom of the grill. Reach your arm inside and under. There it is. Push up on the bottom of the clip to release it. And do the same thing on the other side. Remove the grill. Remove the connector. There's a little push tab right here. Push down on that and pull up. Loosen the bolt. I removed the clamp. And then lift straight up on the AC dryer. This AC kit comes with 2 new O-rings for the receiver dryer. Do it the same way you did the other ones. Use a little pick, pull these off, and then install the new ones. We're going to swap the pressure sensor over from the old unit to the new one. They have a 14mm set screw in the new one. Remove that. Using a 24mm wrench, remove the sensor off of the old one. I'm going to remove this O-ring. Install the pressure sensor. Make sure that O-ring is still there. Put it on the sensor. Then we're going to snug that down. I'm going to put the clamp over the top of it and pull the sticker off the bottom. You're going to line these 2 holes up with the lines, and you're going to want this screw on the outside. Push it straight down onto the lines. I'm going to leave this clamp loose until we tighten the bottom bracket. While you're up here, you could install the connector. Install the bracket on the bottom of the lines. Snug this bolt down. Tighten down the clamp on top. Install the grill back onto the car. Push it in, lock it into place. Then we'll put our 2 clips back in up top. There should be 4, but we have 2 missing on this car. There should be another 2 right here and here. Remove the cap off the wiper blade arm using a small pick. Do that on both of them. They just pick straight up. Using a 14mm socket, remove the nut off of the wiper arms. And to remove these, you're going to push down on this joint as you pull up on here. You may need to wiggle it a little bit. Remove them from the car. There's a clip in the corner on either sides of the wiper cowl. Remove that. This one's missing on the other side of ours. Pull this rubber piece up off of this side cowl. Do the same thing on the other side. There's one clip in the middle of the cowl. Remove that. There's supposed to be another one on the other side, but that one's missing. Remove these little plastic clips on the bottom. It's a little tab you can push down on and then pull backwards. There's another one on the top as well. Kind of just open them up and pull them out. There's supposed to be a third one right here. This car's missing it. We are going to lift up on the front while pulling down and forward on the back. And that should release the cowl. You're going to have the hose for the windshield washer nozzles on the bottom side. Find a connection. Ours is right here. I'm going to pop it out of there and pull the hose off. Using a pair of pliers to just kind of break the tension on the plastic between the rubber and then pull it back. If you use pliers, be very careful with the rubber lines. They're easy to perforate and you can end up with a leak. Remove the cowl from the car. Remove the 13mm strut nut. Remove that bolt. There's one more right next to it. Remove that one as well. Do the same thing on the other side. Remove those two. There's going to be a bunch of 10mm screws on the back of the cowl. One nut. Now we're going to remove the 2 harness clips for the wiper motor off of this metal cowl. Slide this harness back out of the way. Remove the cowl. I'm going to remove the clamp off this hose. I'm going to wrap it back over and tuck it out of my way. You don't necessarily need to take this piece off, but it's going to give me a much better reach to the expansion valve. Using a 10mm socket or wrench, remove the middle bolt off of the expansion valve. Like that. Go ahead and remove it. We're going to take this lock right here and move it up to unlock it. Now we're going to pull it backwards. At this point, we can take our lines off. Give it a little wiggle and pull straight back. Do the same thing on the other line. That one just popped straight out. Using an H4 bit, we're going to remove the 2 screws holding the expansion valve to the evaporator. Remove that bolt, and then there's one more right under it. Remove the bolt below it. To pull this expansion block out, we're going to reinstall the middle bolt that holds in that line lock. We're going to use this bolt as our grabbing point to pull the block out. The foam is glued to the bottom of the block, so once you get it out, you will have to separate the foam from the block. Now you can see kind of behind that foam, we have the 2 lines going to the evaporator. There's going to be O-rings on the connection inside of the firewall. Take those O-rings off and install new ones. You do not want to drop these O-rings. They will fall behind your dashboard and it will be a pain to get to. Coat them with a little bit of PAG oil, AC oil, and then install the new expansion valve. Install the bolts. I'm going to start them by hand. I'm going to remove that 10mm bolt now that the expansion valve is installed. I left it in there just so I could kind of position it and have a better hold than just grabbing the sides of it. Install the bottom bolt. Start that one by hand as well. Torque these expansion bolts to 24 to 46 inch-pounds. If you can't get a torque wrench in here, do the best you can. Remove the O-ring. Do it on both lines. And then install the new ones. Put the one on this line right here. And I'll do the big one. I like to start it on one side and then drag it up over like that. Then install the lines into the expansion valve. Grab the lock, flip it over on top of the lines. Grab the 10mm bolt. And install that into the middle. We're going to snug that down to about 5 foot-pounds. If you can't get a torque wrench in there, do the best you can. Pull this hose back over, slip it on, and then install the clamp. Install the metal cowl. We'll go around and install our bolts and nuts. I'm going to start on one side, install our 13mm bolts. And then go down the line installing our little 10mm. I'm going to start these all by hand to make sure that the metal cowl lines up completely down the line before tightening them all down. One nut in the middle. There's one 10mm inside of here. And the two 13s on the end. And then we'll go through and snug them all down. Back over to our 13. I'm going to put the plastic cowl up for right now. We're going to connect the washer nozzle hose. And then we're going to sit this groove onto the bottom of the glass of the windshield. Start one side, kind of line it up. Once it's all lined up, it'll push up and in, and we can attach our side pieces. These just clip in. The same thing on the other side. Give it a firm push up, make sure it's totally seated on the windshield. Then we'll start going through and putting our clips in. Install these little rubber side pieces, clip them onto this little hook sitting on this rubber piece. Just like that. Do the same thing on the other side. Install the clips under the cowl. Should be three, one right here, one right here. But the only two that we had on our car were here and there. Install the clip in these corners. Do the same thing on the other side if your car had it. Ours was missing. And then move to doing the ones in the middle. There's one right here, and then the same thing on the other side. Install the wiper arm onto the glass. Put the nut on. You want to put these back on in the position they came off. They get clamped against the post, and that is how they oscillate. Install the nut. Snug down the wiper arms. Same thing on the other one. I like to hold them so they don't move as I snug them. Install the caps. Push them straight on. Install the grill. Line up all the clips. Push in. Install the 2 clips. Install the alternator. I'm going to put the top bolt in first, just to hold the alternator for me. And go down and install the bottom one. Get that started by hand. Snug it down. Do the same thing on the top. Torque the top bolt to 21 foot-pounds. Torque the bottom bolt to 35 foot-pounds. We're going to put the coolant reservoir back on its little bracket. This V is going to sit right in that bracket. Install the 10mm bolt. Snug it down. This just popped off, just putting it back on. Install the belt onto the alternator pulley. I'm going to grab this harness, plug in the alternator, push until you hear a click. If you don't hear a click, just give it a pull back and make sure it's securely on there. I'm going to take this 13mm nut back off, pull the boot back on this. There's these grooves that are going to sit inside of these depressions. Line those up. And then install the nut. Snug it down. Torque it to 8 foot-pounds. If you don't have a torque wrench, do the best you can. Pull the boot back over. Install this harness clip back into the bracket. Remove the little 10mm screw that was holding our ground strap. I just put it back in there to hold it there. Grab the harness, install the plastic clip into the bracket, and then install the bolt. Snug it down. We're going to reinstall our serpentine belt. Make sure the belt is already lined up on all of the other pulleys. We're going to pull back on the idler and reinstall it on the power steering pump pulley. I'm just pushing the belt around and getting it onto that pulley. Once you feel like you have it secured, go around and feel all the pulleys. Make sure it's sitting in the grooves and on the faces of the smooth ones. Install the side splash shield. Install your clips. then there should be one more right here, but ours is missing. Reinstall the splash shield. Put all your clips back in. There is supposed to be a clip right here and right here, but our car is missing them. Install the engine cover. Tighten down your bolts. Install the negative battery cable. Snug it down. Install the wheel back on the car. Put on your 5 lug nuts. Snug them down. Torque your lug nuts in a star pattern to 100 foot-pounds.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.